Welcome to the Face-to-Face. I'm your host, Genevieve Kyle Lefebvre. The Face-to-Face is a bilingual series of video recorded in Coquitlam. We acknowledge that Coquitlam is located on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Coquitlam. We thank the Coquitlam people who continue to live on these lands and care for them along the waters and all that is above and below. Today on the Face-to-Face, we are welcoming Vivienne Symington, founder of the Symington Symbiotic Foundation. Welcome, Vivienne.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Nice to be here with you.
So I'm very curious. I want to know why you created the foundation and what motivated you to create that foundation.
Well, in 2002, I founded a program for children with autism and other neurodiverse disabilities. And, you know, it's just grown over the years. And we treat kids mostly in a gymnastics environment, which most people don't understand until they actually experience it. But it's inclusive. And what's really wonderful about it is the culture that's developed over the years embraces children of all abilities. And you never see a child being ignored or not being welcomed because they can't do something another child can. And we really encourage effort versus skill. So every child can put effort in, and that's what they're awarded for. So we have, kids that are nonverbal. I can give you an example if you like,
Yes.
of a really good so we had a child with cerebral palsy, and she wasn't able to walk. And so over the years, we were able to get her walking independently, which took a lot of effort on her part, a lot of overcoming fear, just even having the courage to stand and independently without a walker and know that she could balance was a big achievement. But when she took her first steps, the whole gym stopped, including all my competitive coaches. And they all applauded her. Some of them were crying.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had seen her struggling and for years trying and knew how much she really wanted to walk. But then she said, "Oh, I want to learn to jump on the trampoline. I want to be like all the other kids." So another couple of years, she jumped on the trampoline independently. And again, everybody stopped and applauded her and was just so excited for her achievement. Then she was like, "Well, I want to do a bum drop like all the other kids."
So bum drop, what is that?
Seat drop.
Okay.
So when they bounce and they sit down and stand up. So that was, again, I think we all videoed it. Her mom came in. Everybody came to watch. All the coaches were crying that time for sure. And so, it's really rewarding to be able to see how the kids accept each other, regardless of their abilities. And they all applaud each other.
So there's a beautiful community around her, following her through every step of learning those very important skills for her.
Yeah, and they're life-changing for her.
Absolutely.
Right?
So what are the different therapy you are offering within the foundation?
Well, it started as a motor program, and the motor programs run but with kinesiologists that are specially trained in our motor development program, which is really teaching kids motor milestones, which every child needs to learn, but in a gymnastic setting. And then we hired a speech and language pathologist, which started the beginning of our clinic. Now we have speech and language, and we have physiotherapy, behavior consulting. We even have a trauma counselor on staff. And we do one-to-one, but we also do a really novel concept. We run integrated programming. So for example, if you have a child that's not or is partially speaking or nonverbal and you want to do an integrated program with them rather than one-to-one, the speech and language pathologist will attend with the motor specialist, the kinesiologist, and for 15 minutes of every session, and direct the motor therapist or the kinesiologist how she wants them to work on communication skills, play skills, social skills, It could be numeracy, counting, reading notices in the board, or using a written communication system, and then she'll leave, but then it's carried on. So the parents are having to pay for an hour a month of the speech pathologist time, but they're really getting the program 4 hours a week.
And we
So
all know
it
it's not everybody
saves,
that has access to all those services.
yeah.
It's
So it
not
really
always easy.
saves them money, saves funders money, and the kids are getting a high quality program.
So I'm hearing it's a lot of learning through play. So they're playing, they're learning, and now you're even touching on speech and language like therapy through the learning, I guess, physical different steps.
So one of the things that the reason the speech and language pathologist wanted to be involved with us is when she came to the gym, came in to assess another one of her clients who was attending, and she was curious, and she said, "Oh, they love it when they're here, and they're highly motivated. It's a great place to encourage and promote speech because they're so motivated to speech." So, for example, if a child wants to go on the trampoline, which is obviously what kid doesn't like to jump on a trampoline, it's a great place. You can withhold the trampoline to get some communication.
Okay.
Encourage like either a written word or a spoken word, or even if it's a completely non-verbal child, it could be just a gesture like a tug and a point, right? And then you
Yes.
can build from there. So if they can say tramp, then you start increasing, like maybe want tramp, until they can say I would like tramp, right? So it's all graduated learning, but it encourages speech. It encourages them to build relationship with you. So it's been a really good addition.
And how can people find out about you and your service, and how can they reach and be part of it?
Well, our clinic number, I guess, is 544-1201. And they can call and talk to Angela, who's our medical office administrator. She does all our scheduling and billing. And yeah, I mean, or you can come for a tour,
Come for a tour.
right?
Come and get assessed, I guess.
Yep, we usually start with an assessment, and then after that, we put each kid on an individualized program, depending on what their needs are, what their parent would like for them. And lots of kids use us for almost everything, but some don't. Some have already got a speech and language pathologist, and we don't ask them to quit other services to attend us. They can build their own program.
Okay. And for the families that are reaching out, are they sometimes viewed as a group or only individually?
Well, we do offer some free services for our families, which are groups. So twice a year we have a free bowling night, usually in the fall and one in the spring. And I think lately we've had about 50 or 60 people attending, which is great because they come with their whole family. We may have a pizza night, and it's lots of fun, and it's social. And a lot of families, especially with kids with autism, don't have that opportunity to socialize.
It's hard to connect with other families, so that's a great way also to create connection within the community. And you did touch on the Santa story.
Oh, yes. Well, we used to run Dinner with Santa pre-COVID, and it was a great event, and we had up to 90 people coming, and and everybody would come in the family, and Santa would come, and every parent brought a toy for every child that was attending. So Santa would always have something to give each child, and we had, again, dinner, and I think we did Christmas carols, and we sometimes did a craft and decorated cookies and things like that. And it was really good, but our gym is really busy now, so we would have to go outside to do that now.
So is the intention it's maybe doing it again? We'll see.
I think if we could find a good place to do it at a reasonable cost, because we could, offer the gym space for free.
Yeah. When you
So,
and location is everybody's problem.
yeah.
It's very difficult to find location, good location that can welcome a lot of people, and not spend a full budget on location. I know that's very difficult.
Can I just say one more thing
Yes.
about Dinner with Santa?
Yes.
It was created because parents told me how sad it was for them that they couldn't go to the mall and get their picture taken with their
Oh yeah.
kids. And because it just wasn't a good environment for them. It was, the crowds were too long, the waiting was too long. Sometimes their kids weren't necessarily able to behave for that length of time in an appropriate manner. So, they were sad about that. And I said, oh, let's bring Santa to the gym. And that's what we did.
Let's make it work. For anybody that would like to help, are you working with volunteers, maybe for the events, or how everything works if we want to help?
We have committees that do fundraising and help with events. We also have the board, of course, and a lot of the coaches at the gym are helpful as well. So we always encourage everybody to work together. I have an endowment fund with the Coquitlam Foundation, and each year that fund supports our athletes that are traveling internationally, and also our kids with autism. So we provide bursaries. Sometimes they run out of money, and they're in between funding, so they might have to stop a service, but with a bursary we can carry them through that time. We have kids that come to the program that there is no funding. I don't think everybody's always aware that kids with autism get the majority of the funding from MCFD, but a child with FASD, for example, doesn't get any funding, or ADHD, so it's all provided funding, so the bursaries help a lot to make things accessible.
That's excellent. And what are their hopes, and where is the foundation growing towards?
Well, we're looking at expanding right now, and we have lots of interest in us expanding, so we've been trying to put all the pieces together to be able to do that. And I think we're at that point now where we can start some more centers.
That's excellent. I want you to give me a story of someone that came, and you touched on it a little bit earlier, but someone that came and was very they didn't know what to expect, and had such a beautiful outcome about being part of your community.
Well, we have quite a few of those, but we have, well, a different way of putting it would be we have kids that have started when they're 3 and they're still coming when they're adults.
Okay, so you'll be taking care of them as an adult, specifically
Yeah,
if
even
there's...
though they at 19 they are no longer in the child and family program. They are switched to Community Living BC. But if they have individualized funding, which a lot of them are opting for, then they can use their money to do what they want. So in that case, a lot of them will continue with us. And we also now, our behavior consultant is running a social group for adults, which is really good. And she's really awesome with that age group. And she works on their life skills and things that will help them to participate in society. And, we have some of our adults volunteer at the gym. One volunteers with the kids and the therapists and models things that he learned when he was a child. And then another one is fastidious, and he is a cleaner, and he comes in 3 days a week, spends an hour and a half cleaning for us, and he's so good. And then he gets to jump on the trampoline with me for 10 minutes at the end of his shift, and he loves it.
I love it, and you like it too.
Yeah, I like it too. We all love all our kids. So,
do you have tell me about your history with gymnastics?
well, my dad was a rehabilitation specialist. He was what's called a physiatrist, and so I used to go to the rehab hospital with them. And then I would get to play on the equipment. So that's where I did gymnastics as a child. So for me, the rehab gym and what I have now, a gymnastics facility, are the same thing. They're there for every child and every ability. And it was a natural fit for me, where other people will say a gymnastic facility, that's not for kids with disabilities. And I'm like, yes, it is. I grew up going to the rehab gym, and I did stuff. I mean, while other people were being, rehabbing. And yeah, and my dad, he was pretty world renowned by the end of his career. Well, and he said, he chaired a committee for the World Health Organization on the rights of every person to participate in society. And I really think that that's what our program's about too.
So is it your inspiration? Mm-hmm. Definitely. So it's definitely passed down
Yeah.
in the family.
Yeah.
Is the foundation using some evidence-based program within the foundation?
Yes. So in 2010, I received a grant from the provincial government because we developed a proprietary motor scale, which all our kids are assessed on biannually, and they're not. So if you're the therapist for that child, you're not allowed to do the assessment because you can be biased. So I could come in and assess the children that you're working with. So it keeps at arm's length. So our assessments are fairly, accountable and not sort of like, oh, I know they can do it. So I'll just pass them because I don't know they can do it when I come in. So that led us to get the money that we got from the government was just a small amount, but it funded a narrative review of literature and a pilot data study on our motor scale. And we had a pediatrician from UBC come and conduct that study, and he really fell in love with our program. So, and we had really good results. So he went to UBC and talked to some other scientists there and got the UBC Medical School interested. And then we had a large longitudinal prospective study funded by Kids Brain Health Network, and also and it was conducted by the UBC Medical School. And from that money, we published a retrospective paper on 70 kids. And we got surprising results that it wasn't just the motor that improved, but social skills, and there were some quality of life improvements. So we are now finished the manuscript on the longitudinal perspective, and we're just reviewing it to submit it for publication.
That's excellent. Mm-hmm. And why did you decide to go that route?
Well, I think evidence-based programs are important, and I think they're important for the public because it builds trust in what you're doing. If you know that I could say it's a good program, but if there's evidence to support that, I think it helps.
Yes, it's less biased, like you say.
Yeah.
I definitely would like my little Johnny, if I'm the coach or the instructor, or, to pass, definitely. I can see why you need someone else to assess.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Because they all care. They
exactly.
want the child to do really well.
And they've done it maybe before, right? Well, not today, but they've done it.
Not today.
So they
and
know.
They have to be able to do it when I'm there, or another supervisor might do it, come in to assess them. But yeah, so that's how the perspective and the paper was conducted too by UBC, so it was very arm's length.
So tell me, is all your family works with you at the foundation?
No, well, my husband works on the foundation.
Okay.
And he does all our accounting and HR at Club Aviva. And yeah, but we're a family, all of us at Club Aviva.
Everybody's there. It's part of the big family.
I have staff that have worked there for 20 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful community. Mm-hmm. I hear about it all the time. I hear people, families that goes to the gym, and it was music to my ear to hear about the foundation and helping children that are in need. And I hope with this interview, a lot of people out there will be able to reach out even more and find out about your service and bring a lot of lights to
Yeah.
those little ones, and even adult. Found out even
Yeah.
some adults can reach out to you and get some great movements
Yeah.
and great therapy that make
Yeah.
them grow as a person. Vivienne, where is the location in the Tri-Cities?
We are located at, we operate out of the Club of Eva premises, which is on 98 Brigantine Drive, just off United Boulevard. And we actually have a full clinic, which has its own entrance now.
And it's also located there.
Yep, exactly in the same building.
Excellent.
And we share all the facility. I mean, we share the facilities, even though we have two separate entrances. Our little ones will sometimes go in the clinic to use some of their equipment, and the kids that come to the clinic are everywhere in the gym too. So.
Okay, and so you're not using other, let's say, city gym or any other
No.
locations. Everything is
Oh, we
concentrated.
do have an aqua program up at the Poirier pool.
Oh, an aqua program.
Yeah.
And why an aqua program? For who?
Well, aqua is a life skill, and it's really important for safety. And I think every child needs to be water safe. And so we developed an aqua therapy curriculum as well, or a scale based similarly to. It's an adaptive scale from it originally started as a Red Cross scale, and it wasn't Red Cross, but adapted similarly to Red Cross. And then, it starts with kids that are afraid of the water and goes all the way to swimming, teaching lengths. And, we have one of our kids he's not a kid anymore, he's an adult, and he can swim multiple lengths, front stroke, crawl, backstroke. He's a really competent swimmer. Dive off the diving board.
And what kind of disability does he have?
He has autism.
Okay. So, and he was scared of the water first?
I don't know if he was scared of the water, but he didn't swim, and he's become a fish. He loves the water.
And he really flourished in this
Yeah.
environment, and that's amazing.
Yeah. And I think it's, like I said, it's a life skill. It's really important. Water safety, and for parents, peace of mind. If you have a cabin or you want to go on holidays, it's nice to know that your child's safe.
Tell me a little bit more how the foundation and the program helps the children and the adult with their social interactions and within the society.
So that's a good question, because most people ask that question because they say, well, it's a one-to-one therapy. I don't understand how that can help them with relationship building and social. But they're not alone with their one-to-one, because we're in a very busy gym, especially if you come after school. There can be, 50 kids, 60 kids in the gym at the same time, and they're all doing different things, but they're the same kids every week. So, the parents of all the children that are there at, say, 4 o'clock on a Monday are the same parents every week. And over time, there's interaction between sometimes different groups, or sometimes a child in the clinic program will, we call it, weave through a typical class. So they may join a class for a couple of circuits with them and then move on to something else. So there's a lot of interaction that happens naturally. And there's other kids, could be 4 or 5 kids that are in the clinic all attending at the same time. And that's a really good opportunity for the staff to try and use that as a vehicle for building a friendship with another child, interacting with other therapists at the same time, or even doing a group activity together. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a natural part of the environment.
It comes together all organically.
Yeah.
And any other advantages?
Well, I think the fact that it's a get-to. It's not, they don't think they're coming for therapy. All the kids think that, they look forward, it's my gym day. And they want to go just like all the other kids want to go to gym.
Yes.
And their parents are happy because they're getting up and they want to go to the gym. And they're usually excited to be coming.
Excellent.
And, when somebody's excited to do something, you usually have better results.
Absolutely.
Right?
And I think I know this as a mom myself.
Yeah.
Learning through play, we talk about this a lot right now, and learning through play, but through activities and something that you're passionate about, and it gets all bundled up together, and I can see how the children will thrive into an environment like this. And also it's taking them out of their home. And I'm sure some of those child don't get exposed as much. Like, I don't know if, I guess most of them go to school, but it could be difficult at school also to connect with other children.
Yeah. Well, even the school, last year, the school district sent kids to the gym that they can't have at school, that they're just not successful at school. And they started bringing them to the gym, and they said this is their happy place. Like, they love coming here. This is the day of the week that they look forward to because they get to come.
Vivienne, how can we support the foundation?
Well, the foundation is a charity, and it has a tax number, and any donation that's made to the foundation, if you donate through Canada Helps, we have a button on our website. It's tax. You'll get a tax receipt for your donation.
Tell me a little word of wisdom before I let you go, Vivienne.
Well, I could say that our motto is shaping stronger futures. And I really think that that's what we're doing. And because I do think that every child, to me, children are our future. And we need to treat them well and give them the chance to grow and participate in society and just feel like they belong and that they're an important, integral part of everything our society and community does.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vivienne.
You're welcome.
And from the Tri-Cities Community Television and myself, Genevieve Kyle Lefebvre, thank you so much for joining us today.